We back, this time with full auto replacer knight. Oddly enough, we were given movement speed again on this boss, but unfortunately we have to deal with another HP degen. Luckily it's not that bad, being only 5% HP per second, but still rather annoying debuff to deal with. The minimum score to get to is 12k, and we will do our best to reach that. I've got two setups to show: a budget team made up of farmable units, banner units, and units available through the new player selectors, and an invested team for those with more resources. Let me show you what I got. Here we go for a Hill Day showcase. Honestly, especially since we have all units getting burnt, keeping a lot of things alive isn't exactly fun, especially with all our units getting knocked back. Though everybody does have a rather good chance to live, but a Hilde is a monster in this fight. Not only does she have a ton of knockbacks that help push closer to the boss at the beginning, but she's also a defender, which has roll advantage against this boss, so she does actually do good damage. So we're going to sit here and abuse the fact that if we have a shield, we cannot get knocked back on a Hilde, so we don't get flung back to our ship and have to make that, take that long walk of shame all the way back to the boss. And a Hilde alone can sit here and solo the shield on the boss, so we don't have to worry about losing our entire team. But this is what I'm talking about. You see how low Chinatsu is? Unfortunately, Chinatsu will not ult unless there's an enemy in range. So there's a good chance that on your way back, you're going to end up losing some units. Now, getting knocked back, a Hilde getting knocked back on the second phase change for the boss isn't the end of the world. It's better, obviously, if she doesn't get knocked back, but timing is a little weird here and there. As long as she doesn't get knocked back on the first one, that's what's important. The second one, we're given a lot more time in order to work our way back, because we also have to kill that totem. And then once we get to the boss, the shield immediately goes away, and then we can continue taking on the boss here. Luckily, we don't have to worry about getting knocked back. We do have to have some ads spawn here and there, but they don't. There's a long timer between ad respawn. And I was not kidding about a Hilde doing good damage. For the budget team, we are running Quad as the ship, but you can run Chorus instead. We have Kim Hana as the operator, but you can run Sysop. You just need to switch Linjian and Hilde around. For Hilde, we are going with CDR gear. We want to have shields up as much as possible so that we don't get knocked back. Linjian is also on CDR. We need to generate as much DP as possible. Rivet is on anti-ground damage. Attack speed works here. We have a ton of different mobs we're fighting, so range damage is probably going to be best. Chinatsu, we're running CDR as well. We want to go with tanky CDR if we can. We need her healing as much as possible. Gayun, again, some kind of range damage, ground damage, anything of that nature. Anti-sniper can work as well, but that'll only be good against the boss and not the ads. Yang, we want to have on tanky CDR. We need her spamming shields and her heals. And then Soyun can honestly be on whatever, just as long as she sits there and uses her 30% attack buff. And then Wardens, we want to have on some range damage, A speed, ground damage, anything that just gives some kind of damage here. So first thing you're going to notice is this weird deploy order I have, where Lin Jian isn't one of the first units to come out. That's because Lin Jian is dumb. Like, unfortunately, she will run ahead of Ecclesia, and you might not think that would be bad because the ads don't really do a ton of damage to Linjian herself. But unfortunately, that boss has a ranged attack, as you see those little purple orbs coming flying across the screen there. Yeah, that's the boss's attack, and unfortunately, Linjian cannot tank very many hits from that, so she just ends up dying. So we have this weird deploy order so that we can sit here and get Linjian and keep her in a safe spot, and then we can still get our Sysop proc. After that, it's literally just waiting for our DPS to finally deploy. We do need to sit here because of the unit burn, the HP percentage we're losing per second. We do need to have a decent setup of support so that our team doesn't melt on their own. After that, we can sit here and finally deploy our DPSs and then have Surya clear the way with her ultimate, taking out the ads and letting us move forward. Now, unfortunately we can't get to the boss quick enough in order to proc the shield so that we can sit here and delay this ultimate. Unfortunately we take it, but luckily we have 2 defenders, a bunch of shields, so it doesn't really do that much to our team. If your Ecclesia for some reason gets knocked back here, you will need to sit there and restart. There's always going to be a bit of RNG when it comes to ads in any fight that has ads, because they're just, they're another layer of RNG. We have to sit here and go through how quickly we crit, if we miss them too many times, how fast do we push. Those sort of things will always change the outcome of a run. So if a place does get knocked back on the first one, you definitely want to restart. Now I'm using Mavka for this run, and Regina is usable, but I couldn't find a way to keep Regina alive, because unfortunately those ads spawn right in her face. So even if we sit here and work everything out magically to sit here and clear the ads out, keep Ecclesia on the boss, have everybody get knocked back except Ecclesia and Regina. Regina, just for the fact that all the mobs immediately spawn on top of her and focus her, she ends up taking too much damage and dies. And then I can't get my team quick enough to the boss, or back to the boss, in order to keep her safe. So I just went with Mavka because she can actually get knocked back with the rest of her team, and that keeps her keeps her safe the entire time. For the Invest team, we are using Quad as the ship with Sysop as the operator. We are running tanky CDR on Linjian. Ecclesia, we're going CDR, but we only really need around 33% ground res. Rest of it go into damage. And then Chinatsu, we are doing full tanky CDR. Same for Sinjia, but because she's an Awaken, you could use Mage. Surya, we are going ult amp, but you can use anti-sniper or anti-ground set. Yang, we're going tanky CDR as well. Mavka, we want to sit here and put full death pen on her. And then Solovi, I'm running range CDR, though you could use anti-sniper or anti-ground set. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you get the minimum score this season. I'm actually wondering if you guys are getting sick of Mavka and Solovi yet. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. Catch me on Discord, link is in the description, and if you want to help support this channel, there's a link in the description for that too. As always, I will see you all next time.